Okay, so here we are outside of Dr. Kelly's house. And let's see. Even at the bottom of the hill, you can already feel the presence. Yeah. I can also see it. I can see at least 3 ditchlings. 1, 2, 3. I see Wayne and I see a raccoon. I would love to talk to the raccoon. It's like a magnet has been fixed to your rib cage, gently tugging you forward, guiding you towards whatever emits this compulsive frequency. Oh yeah, we can! Ask a woodland creature how they'd get into the house. You quickly glance around, eyes trained on the underbrush. A flash of a striped tail grabs your eye immediately. Oh, I find this so cool. Can I help you, Buster? Hey there! If you were trying to break into that house over there at the top of the hill, how would you do it? Hey, if you're trying to break into that house at the top of the hill, how would you do... Oh, what? Just because I've got little hands and go through people's trash, I'm supposed to know how to break into places? There's a hill that'll take you right up to that big flat roof thing. Sometimes the humans leave windows open up there and I go inside. Oh, so he does know. Don't tell them, okay? I like to sleep in their big piles of cloth. It's one of my few joys in life. Oh dear. And now he's gone. That's so cool. He leaves as you turn to look back. As you turn back to look at the clinic. Well, I mean, I did observe the first time round that it looks like it's built into the hill. So that makes perfect sense. So I really like how this whole thing was already foreshadowed. So that when they decided to draw this image, they already knew that there was a way in using... Oh, there are more ditchlings here, aren't there? That you can climb up here. I love this. You have your way in. Make your way up the hill and onto the terrace. You're pretty sure you can make the jump to the 2nd floor, at least with a running start. You make your way up the hill and bend your knees in anticipation. And then you jump. Okay, 2nd floor is what we call the 1st floor, because we count ground floor, 1st floor, 2nd floor. The Americans count 1st, 2nd, 3rd floor. You land and try the door. It's unlocked. Whoa. The upstairs of the clinic feels like a decommissioned museum. Old furniture is covered in plain white sheets and a thick layer of dust coats the floor. This place hasn't seen any use in years. Okay, that's a picture of the house, isn't it? Okay, I can't see Wayne. It's good. You're in the clinic, free to explore as you please. Or rather, you're free to explore as you please. You can feel that odd sensation again. The nagging pull of whatever it was that wanted you to find it. You've been caught by its gravity, an overwhelming curiosity guiding you around a corner and towards a dark doorway under the stairs. It's been left ajar, as if inviting you to enter. Turn on the lights. The lights click on and you're in the morgue. That's Reese, isn't it? Callisto, what are you what are you doing in the morgue? What are you doing sleeping in a morgue? I'm sure it looks weird. It's not like I expected anyone to come down here. I was just, practicing, a rehearsal, if you will. I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of weird, dude. You're the one who just wandered into a morgue. His words seem distant to you. The tugging is strong down here. You can almost feel yourself slipping into a trance, and your eyes wander to the back wall of the morgue. You need to see what's back there. Follow the pull. You touch the wall. It feels disappointingly solid under your palms. Hey, are you okay? You feel Reese's hand gently shake your shoulder for a moment. The thing on the other side of the blank white wall loosens its pull on you. You kind of look possessed for a second there. Are you okay? Make him understand. There's a stone carving on the other side of this wall, and I need to see it. Reese glances back at the wall. You're really serious, aren't you? This is probably a bad idea, but If you really need to get in there, I'm pretty sure there's an emergency axe somewhere upstairs. I just need to get the dock out of your hair. Should take 2 seconds. Sounds great. Lead the way. Sweet, be right back. He strides past you, his long legs moving swiftly. He seems excited, his usual dour demeanor replaced with an uncharacteristic pep when faced with the prospect of sneaking around and tearing down walls. You hear his soft voice filtering in through the open doorway at the top of the stairs, a hoarse and sickly edge added for effect as he speaks to his mother. Hey, Mom. He coughs gently. Reese, I didn't know you were awake. I still feel like shit, but I think I can finally try to keep some juice down. But it looks like we're all out, though. Really? I thought I just picked some up. I've got an errand to run on Main Street anyway. I'll pick you up some orange juice and some ginger ale, too. That would be awesome. Sorry to ask. I know you're probably busy. It's no problem. It doesn't take long. Don't do anything too strenuous while I'm gone. Just lie in bed until I get back. Thanks, Mom. I'll take it easy. You hear her footsteps move down the hall, then the front door opening and closing. It worked! Then the theatric rasp has left his voice, excitement rising in its place. Come on up! We don't have long until she's back. As you step out of the morgue, you relax. The extra space between you and that carving has weakened its hold on you, and with it, your desperation to claw your way through that wall and unveil it. It's one of those emergency fire axes, so it should be pretty obvious wherever it is, though I'm not sure where she would be keeping it. I'll show you around. Let's try the doc's office first. You make your way to the doorway of her now vacant office. I don't see an axe here. He's right, a cursory glance reveals nothing but stacks of paper and cabinets of medical supplies. But something on the desk catches your eye. Some sort of records, with your family's name on them. Reese stops in the doorway, turning to watch you leaf through the documents. Find something interesting? They're your family's death certificates. Okay, explore Perlan's death certificate. Cause of death, sleep apnea. Discovered by her daughter, Tabitha Chrysanthemum Scarlet. No autopsy performed. Tabitha's middle name is Chrysanthemum? Wonder who cursed her with that mouthful. Don't say anything. Explore Edward Dean's death certificate. Born April 9th, 1913. Died... Oh my god, she was 90. Cause of death, heart failure. Signed by her granddaughter, Perlan Scarlet. Pretty normal. Almost made it to 90. Died of a normal old person illness. Enoch's death certificate. 1887 to 1957. Age 69. Cause of death, fall from cliff. This one has a coroner's report attached. Organs sustained impact injuries, lacerations to the neck and body consistent with fall from great height. Whoa, an actual autopsy report. Looks ancient. Other death certificates? You quickly flip through a few of the other Scarlets whose names aren't quite as familiar. Theodore Scarlet, 1890 to 1918, 28. Cause of death, crushed in mine collapse, body not recovered. Signed by his brother, Enoch Scarlet. That's right, you had a great-uncle who died in the collapse. Joseph Scarlet, born April 1914, died June 1944. Louis Scarlet, born August 1920, died June 6, 1944. Both killed at Normandy in the line of duty. These must have been Edwardine's brothers. Certificate of fetal death, infant boy Andrew Charles Scarlet, delivered April 3rd, 1945, stillbirth. Mother Edwardine Scarlet. Cause of death, complications during birth. No doctor present. Home burial. That settles the question of whether you're related to Charlie. Does it? Alexandra Scarlet, born... Oh! They had a child together, but he died. Okay. Alexandra Scarlet, born December 1947, died August 1957, aged 9, missing, presumed dead, signed by mother Edwardine Scarlet. What the fuck? Alexandra, the owner of the doll, so she went missing. And it was the same day Enoch died in a hiking accident. Mary Bell Scarlet, born September 3rd, 1946, died October 30th, 1963, aged 17. Cause of death, complications during childbirth. Signed by her mother, Edwardine Scarlet. Wow, that's a lot of kids to outlive. Uh-huh. You turn around and leave the office. It's time to move on. The medical supply room is probably a good bet. A fire axe seems like something that might be useful in a room full of chemicals. It's just down the hall. There it is. Oh yes, there, in the back. Looks like it needs a key, though. We'd better not break the glass. I'd rather explain why I had to steal the axe after we've had a chance to use it. There must be a key in here somewhere. He stops as if listening to something you can't hear. Shit, she's back already. As if on cue, you hear the front door to the clinic open and close, the creak of its antique hinges echoing down the hallway. Footsteps start down the hall. She's headed this way. Quick, we've got to hide. I'm not supposed to be in here. He opens the closet door and hurriedly motions you inside. You slip past him, scrunching into the small space as best you can. He attempts to slide in after you. Let him in. You make space and he slips in next to you, closing the door just enough that you can both still monitor the entrance to the supply room. Dr. Kelly storms in, plastic bag in tow. She takes something out of the bag and places it on the counter. And then she hurries back out, bags rustling, as she makes her way back down the hallway. We'd better wait a second, just in case. Keep your distance. You press yourself against the boxes in the back of the closet, trying to avoid being seen through the small slit in the door. The two of you stand in tense silence, both crammed into the suffocating closet, taking shallow breaths, as if she could hear you breathing from the other side of the building. But the footsteps soon return. Dr. Kelly makes her way back towards your hiding place, creaking floorboards broadcasting her location all the way to the hallway just outside your hiding spot. His head swivels suddenly. That was the door to the house. We're in the clear. Let's go. The two of you spill out of the closet. Reese quickly and quietly starts pulling out drawers and scanning for the key. You can't help but notice that Dr. Kelly left on the long steel table in the middle of the room. A sprig of small furry fruit. Castor beans. They are poisonous! You've seen them elsewhere in town, but for the life of you, you can't remember where... Oh, I can! Sybil has them. Why did your mom get castor beans? Yes, found the keys. He holds up a small ring of keys, each with a strip of colored tape on the head. What's this about beans? Oh, those weird little furry things? Reese unlocks the cabinet and offers you the fire axe. Here's your axe. And I don't know, I've never seen them before. I'm not allowed in the supply room. It's probably some kind of medicinal plant, right? She took out a chemistry set too, though. Come to think of it, she's not supposed to make medicine. She's not a pharmacist. This room is just storage for orders she gets from a pharmacist over in Brevard. Why would she bring something like that in here? Castor beans make ricin, a deadly poison. She's not making it though, right? Why would she make that? She's a doctor. I don't think she's making it for everyone, just for you. You know, she's never told me what my medication actually is. I thought it was just too complicated for me to understand, so she didn't bother. Maybe she has some kind of information on it lying around here somewhere? That drawer over there is locked. If I were information on some mysterious alien-looking fruit, I'd probably be in a locked drawer, right? Good thing I already have the keys. He unlocks the drawer, pulling out a notebook. This is about me. There's stuff in here from when I was like 12. It's some kind of diary or medical history. Or both, I guess. What the hell is this? Something about another episode? Guessing she's referring to one of my rough nights. Oh, here we go. There's some illustrations. He glances to the strange plant on the countertop. It's those beans you mentioned. She uses them to make my medicine. That's poison, right? He jerks his head towards the door. Shit, that was the door from the house. We've got to run. You follow Reese's instructions once again, starting down the basement stairs, letting the pull of the stone carving guide you back to the morgue. Dr. Kelly's voice filters down from above. I was right. We did already have juice. It was just in the back of the fridge, but there's no harm in having extra. What are you doing in the clinic? I thought I told you to go rest. Oh, I'm just gonna chill in the morgue. I got my speakers, so if you hear some weird sounds, that's just my music. I'll be sure to put in earplugs to drown out all that industrial clanging you listen to. Oh, that's good. She's gonna muffle any sound we're making. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of you spending time down there. It can't be good for your mental health to hang out in a refrigerator for corpses. Do you at least have a blanket this time? Yeah, I'll be fine. It's just a change of scenery. My room feels too claustrophobic right now. Okay, I'll let you know when it's time for dinner. You don't have to do that. I'll grab something for my room later. Sure, whatever you're able to do. You hear the door at the top of the stairs close and the sound of Reese descending the stairs to join you in the fluorescent lit room below. Hey. You listen to music that sounds like a wall being broken down? Of course I do. I'm sad all the time. Glad my taste in music is finally coming in handy. It's exactly the cover we need. Stop asking questions. It's time to see what's on the other side of that wall. Let's do this. I'd like to do the honors if you don't mind. I've got some confused and angry feelings I'd like to express. Reese takes the axe from you and approaches the wall. Reese manages to cut through the wall with very little effort, unexpected from someone with his frame and condition. But you know his stringy muscles are backed by a mounting fury that's at what's been done to him. That goes a long way. He staggers back from the massive hole in the wall and admires his work. Holy shit! The splintered edge frames a dark passage seemingly cut deep into the side of the cliff, cold seeping from a forgotten place into the already frigid morgue. Okay, well, I can see a chair. At least one. There seems to be the handle of a second one. Reese coughs as he takes a better look at what lies beyond the wound in the wall. There's a whole hallway back there. Thick, stale air leaks from the hole, filling the morgue with an earthy, mildew smell, like the room is slowly filling with dirt. And with the stink of the grave-like room beyond comes an even stronger compulsion. You step forward. And you climb into the hole. This is wild. I had no idea any of this was here. An entire hospital wing rotting away for decades behind some flimsy dry wall. Oh, right. This was a tuberculosis hospital at some point, wasn't it? His voice sounds distant. Your sole focus is finding it. Your feet move without prompting, and you stumble down the hallway towards the far wall, barely registering the antique clutter as you stagger past it. A wheelchair? Okay. Whoa, are you okay? Oh, he's holding his... that's a mobile, and he's using that to light up the passage. That's smart. You don't respond, and you don't bother to retrieve the axe. The wall is rotten water damage. Water damage having eaten away at the wood over the course of unknowable years. The planks nearly reduced to sawdust. You tear into it. Okay. Enoch, I thought you weren't going to come. I was worried you'd leave me here forever. They said there's nothing they can do. I'll never use my legs again. Oh. Enoch, what am I going to do? Calm down, Teddy. These doctors don't know what they're talking about. Teddy. So that's an Edward. We know of Edward Dean, but I don't know about Edward. Have we seen that name before? I've been doing my own research and I've found us an alternative. We won't have to worry about anything from here on out, I promise. Oh. I went to talk to the witch. A witch? But that's nonsense. It's all right, it's all sorted. We're taking you home today and everything will be resolved by this time next week. Oh. Everything goes black. Your vision swims back into focus and it takes a solid second or two to reorient yourself. You're in an unfamiliar bed. Reese leans against the far wall, eyeing you with concern and curiosity. Could be his room. Hey, I was worried you'd slipped into a coma or something. You tore down a wall like a wild animal, found some weird carving and collapsed. I think you might have had some kind of seizure. Are you okay? I should probably get going. Stella's still missing, and the stone here finally stopped yelling at me. That might be a little tricky. The dock is on the warpath up there. I refused to take my medicine, and she's not happy about it. I'm sure you can understand why. There was no way I was going to take anything she gave me. She's been poisoning me for years. I've been thinking about what you said at dinner last night, and I don't see any other possibility. It's only been a day since I've stopped taking my pills, and I feel great. I went ahead and blocked my door so she can't get down here. Now we just have to wait her out. I don't get why your mom is poisoning you, though. I don't know. Well, I know, but it's all in here. She never outright says that's what she's doing. And the recipe she came up with to deal with my flare-ups, whatever she thinks those are, involves that weird plant that was on the counter. Those castor beans, you were right, and ricin poisoning matches up with quite a few of my symptoms. The thing I can't figure out is whether she's been trying to kill me slowly, or if she's just happy to keep me sick enough to be dependent on her. That's what she's doing, actually. Either way, I don't think I ever had an illness. I think the illness was me growing up and becoming less easy to control. She sure found a cure for that. We need to get out of here. Who knows what she'll do when she finds out what you know? Where would we go? The only person I know who has a car is Kanika, and she's not answering her phone. I don't know anyone else. I don't have any other family to go to. I never even finished high school. When I get out of this house, I don't know how I can make sure I don't wind up right back down here. One step at a time. Let's just start by waiting out your mom and getting out of here. I don't actually want to be burdened with this guy. You shouldn't call her my mum. As far as I'm concerned, she's forfeited that title. I don't even think I should call her doctor. She's just some woman now. Can't wait for her to be in the rearview mirror of the rest of my life. We'll see if we can wait her out. If she doesn't fall asleep by 10, we can figure something else out. These windows are supposedly shatterproof, which she always said was for burglars, but now I assume it was yet another way to keep me boxed in. But we can try to break them open anyway. A distraction seems like a good idea. As you can probably tell, I'm getting a little jittery. Maybe it's the lack of poison in my system for the first time in years. He's got a little beholder here. Or the fact that my whole perception of reality has been turned on its head. Or probably a combo. It would obviously take more than a day for ricin poisoning to be out of his system. Yeah, that's what I think. This is really now adrenaline talking. It doesn't feel awful, to be honest. Just go with the flow. So if we've got some time to kill, we could always watch a movie. I'm really into horror movies, as I'm sure you could tell, and it has been so long since I had somebody over to watch one with me. And I believe I owe you a showing of Shi no Chi, Death Blood. Reese gets the movie set up and joins you on the bed. Let me know if it gets to be too much for you. I'm not a great judge of how other people will react to the sort of things I watch, but I definitely don't want you to feel uncomfortable. This is a slow burn of a movie, but the dread it's managing to build is palpable in the room. Or maybe that's just how it feels down here all the time. What with the grisly paintings, lack of lighting, cinder block walls, and of course the fact that the woman currently lurking upstairs has been poisoning her son since his teens. I've seen a couple of this director's other films, and they're all interesting, though this is probably the best introduction to his work. The way it jump cuts to seemingly unrelated TV show recordings that then wind up tying back into the narrative adds a level of realism and depth to the world that I find really engrossing. It's found footage used to its fullest. Shi no Chi, I have to check if this is actually a thing. I can't believe I'll be able to just do things from here on out, like watch movies with another person, or talk to people, ever. You can hear the difference in energy now that Rhys hasn't had his daily dose of poison. He's uncharacteristically chatty, clearly not used to talking to another person, let alone when he has the energy to carry on a long conversation. I'm glad you'll be able to have a social life, and I'm happy to be a part of it. Rhys smiles to himself. It's still hard to imagine, hard to believe after all these years alone that that's going to be my reality. A man on the screen yells portents of doom into the camera, trailing off into a wordless scream. The plot is really heating up. I love that there are all these distinct sort of vignettes, little pockets of horror that affect a small number of people, and only once you start to see how they fit together can you realize some fundamental horror about the universe. And then it sees you back. Incredible, cosmic horror in the truest sense. Rhys is becoming very animated. It's probably safe to assume that he's dealing with a lot of extra adrenaline right now, what with his entire reality turning out to be a lie. But he's also talking over the movie. Sorry if I'm talking a lot, I'm just jittery. It's a little terrifying to think that she's up there right now. There's a knock on the window. Callisto, don't get any closer to that thing. It's time to go home. That voice. I know that voice. Without another word, Wayne starts pounding on the supposedly shatterproof window. Enemies upstairs, enemies outside. We're surrounded. Even if I get out of this house, I won't be safe. You won't be safe. Why did he call you that thing? Because he's some kind of monster and he wants me dead. Can't you feel that? The murderous intent is practically oozing out of him. But I'm not weak anymore. I can fight back. I don't have to cower in fear from the people who want to hurt me. Oh my god, this is getting out of control. I can protect both of us, Callisto. The window shatters. As Rhys tears at his clothes, paint bubbles out from the canvases, his ghoulish figures peeling themselves out of their two-dimensional worlds, invading yours, crawling up the walls. What the fuck? Grab my hand, I'll pull you out. Leave us alone. Oh my god, he's a werewolf. In a surge of violence, the change that has been brewing inside Rhys finally comes. As it manifests, the broken basement window is sealed off and Wayne along with it. Run for the stairs. You've seen enough to know you need to leave. You run up the stairs. The door is blocked by a chair. And then it's blocked by something else too. Try and tear through them. You toss the chair out of the way and do your best to tear through the substance covering the door. It reforms and regenerates too quickly for you to claw your way through. Defeated, you turn back to the basement. The remainder of Rhys's paintings await their artist's command. It's okay, stay right there. I can take care of this. Then she won't be able to hurt anyone anymore. I'll be right back. Rhys storms up the stairs, leaving you with his smears. What the hell is going on? Try and warn Dr. Kelly. You make your way to the door that beckoned to you yesterday, all intrigue now washed away. You know where it leads, and you know what secrets the stone that lurked in the forgotten basement of the clinic had to share with you. Now the clinic holds a new horror. Somewhere beyond the narrow hallway leading from the house proper into the doctor's office, there is a monster, preparing to do something unthinkable. Open the door. You grasp the handle and turn. Duck! Huh? Duck. You do as she says, ducking out of the way. She shoots. The gun isn't very loud. There's only a pop as the projectile leaves the barrel, whizzing through the air. You turn to see a dart embedded in Rhys's chest. He pulls the tranquilizer dart out of his chest, heaving heavy breaths as the drug courses through his system. You're going to have to try harder than that, you How did you? As if you could hope to stop me, you pathetic waste of flesh. Before Wayne takes another step down the stairs, paint flows out between the cracks in the wood. Reese is panic pulling in a mob of furious smears to hold his enemies in place. The artist darts away, but the smears continue their work in his absence. Dr. Kelly makes her escape down the hallway, and Wayne is overcome, glued in place at the top of the stairs by stiffening globs of paint. Dr. Kelly makes her escape down the hallway, and Wayne is overcome. Run after Dr. Kelly. You run forward, braving the onslaught of the smears, dodging them as best you can as you try to see where Dr. Kelly went. The door in front of you is smothered in paint. Hey! Dr. Kelly's voice crackles out of some unseen speaker. You, Callisto! I'm stuck in the safe room. I can't help you from here, but you can help the both of us. Remain silent. I need you to get to the medical storage room. I'll give you further instructions when you're there. Yep. You turn back around and head to the medical storage room. I'm here. Great. Now listen to me. I need you to use the black taped key to get into the cabinet and bring me the elephant tranquilizers. It's a bottle labeled carfentanil. Bear tranquilizers clearly aren't going to cut it anymore. An intercom system, huh? Doc, good. You should hear this. Callisto, you don't have to do anything she says. I'm not going to hurt anybody else. Just her. If I don't, you and I both know she's just going to shoot me full of, what was it, elephant tranquilizers? Did I hear that right? And shove me back down in that basement, or maybe someplace even worse, and keep killing me every day for the rest of my miserable existence. I feel amazing right now. Better than I've ever felt in my entire life. I'm not dangerous. She's just scared because she knows she has to finally pay for what she's taken from me. Remain silent. You say nothing. It's okay, Callisto. Just get to the cabinet and I can get all of this sorted out. You don't have to do what she says. She's told me what to do for as long as I've been alive, and look where that landed me. Half dead, holed up in a basement, and she put me right back if she had her way. Hell, if she had no trouble doing this to her own son, who else might she be treating without their knowledge? Well, So just stay right here while I do what needs to be done. There won't be a speck of blood on your hands. Enough! Reese cries out in pain. What the hell did you do to my shoulder? I'll handle it. Try to get somewhere safe until then. The two stagger off down the hallway. Quick, grab that tranquilizer and head down to the safe room. Yeah, you do as she says. The tranquilizers are easy to find, marked with a small square of black tape to match the key. She's certainly an organized woman. You make your way out of the medical storage room and back to the hallway where Dr. Kelly disappeared. As you approach, Dr. Kelly heaves open the door, slowly breaking apart the mass of paint, sealing it shut. Hurry! I don't think I can keep it open for long. You slip past her into the safe room. She shuts the door quickly through one of the little smears, although one of the little smears manages to slip past her. She stomps on it. Painted viscera splatters across the cement floor. It sounds like Reese and your friend are still fighting. We probably have a few minutes before he gets here. Let's talk Reese. Yeah, I bet you have some questions. Go ahead, I have nothing left to hide. What is he? At first, I thought he was some kind of werewolf, but if he is, he doesn't follow any kind of full moon rules or anything. Silver doesn't do shit to him, and you've seen what he looks like. It's just weird. I almost wish I could examine him while he's fully transformed. I'd be fascinated to know what happens to him or how his body does it. But he seems pretty hell-bent on ripping my throat out, so I guess that'll just have to remain a mystery. How do you know that he's dangerous? Well, he wants to murder me, so that's clue number one. And it's not like he's usually a violent kid. He's mostly just sad. But every now and then we butt head, and that's usually when this side of him comes out. I imagine if this happened any time he gets frustrated with anyone. Imagine he gets road rage one day, turns into a 12-foot tall monster with a million teeth and rips somebody apart in the middle of a major metropolitan area. Yeah, he's dangerous, all right. What you're doing is difficult, but it's necessary. I'm glad you see that. Makes me feel a little less cruel. It hasn't been easy doing all this to him, but I know it's for the best, for him and for everyone else. When did you find out? A little after he hit puberty. He had all the usual changes, then a few extra. Thickened nails, sharp teeth, elfish ears. I figured he might have some kind of genetic disorder, had him checked out by a few specialists, but there was nothing obviously wrong with him. Then we had an argument, and he changed right in front of me. It was nothing like what he is now, just a couple of inches and some facial abnormalities, enough to be noticeable. I was scared. He could see that, and he stopped. I thought it was a one-off, or maybe a hallucination. But the second time, it wasn't as subtle, and it didn't go away as easy. That's when I knew for sure that this was something beyond my realm of expertise. Leave it at that. What's the game plan, both short and long term? Well, I pump him full of elephant tranquilizers, then I lock him in here. Then I somehow convince him to see things from my perspective. Then we all live happily ever after. Remain silent. You and Dr. Kelly sit in silence and wait for her son to make his way to you. The sound of distant breaking glass cuts through the silence of the clinic outside the safe room. Shit, this might be game time. Dr. Kelly opens the door. The two of you stare out into the hallway. Is this what you were so afraid of? Hand over the tranquilizers. This is our shot. You hand Dr. Kelly the tranquilizer darts. Dr. Kelly quickly loads them into her gun, leveling the barrel at her son. Callisto, I thought we were in this together. No, not really. Thank God. Dr. Kelly sighs heavily, staring down at the warped figure of her son. I can drag him into the safe room on my own. I'll meet you at the front door when I'm done. Leave her to it. You return to the entrance of the clinic. Everything is quiet now, only streaks of paint where Reese's minions had once roiled out of cracks in the wood. I hope you understand that this needs to stay between us. I don't care how much you feel like you need to share what just happened with other people. The more people know about this, the more trouble it is for me and for him. I don't need any more well-intentioned escape plans. I'm gonna tell her about the stone. Okay, thanks for the heads up, I guess. Remain silent. You don't say anything in response. As much as I'd love to stand around chatting, I have to get to work. Gotta clean this place as best as I can before tomorrow. And you should probably get home. It's dark. I'm sure your cousin is worried about you. Leave. You don't wait to be kicked out, heading out the door to the clinic and into the dark night beyond. The night is oddly warm compared to the chill of the day, crickets singing quietly in the sleepy little neighborhood. Everything that happened in the clinic feels almost like a dream, and now that it's over, you realize how little it meshes with your understanding of the world. Go home. We still haven't found Stella. You didn't get far before you You don't get far before you're interrupted by the jingling of dog tags. Gretchen appears at the edge of the road, running as fast as her geriatric pug legs can carry her. Callisto, please, you must come at once. I am afraid my Stella is in dire emotional distress. She's been sitting in one spot all day long, and I fear we're nearly out of supplies. Please come talk some sense into that girl before I miss my dinner 2 nights in a row. A dignified lady of age such as myself cannot survive on treats and camping food alone. Of course. Oh my God, Stella's alive. Take me to her. Oh God, thank you for listening. She's just this way. Oh my God. You follow Gretchen. She nervously runs ahead of you to the whole time, constantly looking back to make sure you're still there as she leads you into the dark woods. Before long, the trees thin and you find yourself on a steep hill by a 2-lane road lined on one side by sheer rock. Oh, there she is. No Wayne. And sitting there on a log, staring mournfully out at the asphalt, is Stella. There she is, and she just won't move. Gretchen runs up to her and sits in Stella's lap. Gretchen, you're back. Don't scare me like that again. You sit on the log beside her. Callisto, how did you... Wait, did Gretchen come and get you? Wow, she must think I'm dying or something. I'm the one who's near death. I simply couldn't survive another night without my nice soft bed. I'm just so happy you're okay. Oh, you poor thing. I'm fine, but thanks for not being mad. I just want to know what happened. Please just talk to me. Stella faces you for a moment, desperate eyes trying to force out words, a part of her thought she would never have to say out loud. And then she turns back to the road. Oh, of course, this is where the accident happened. My parents died on this bend in the road. They were taking me to college. I was lying in the back seat. It had just rained, and the sun was finally coming out. Oh dear. Oh. Oh my God, they don't have heads. Sorry, I know that's probably a bummer to talk about. It was awful. It really messed me up for a while. I think I'm still messed up. There's whole years of my life after the accident that feel like they just never happened. Like every time I try and remember them, it's blank. I have all these videos sitting on my channel that I don't even remember filming. It's scary. At least, it hasn't been like that for a while, thank God. I've never talked about this stuff before, with anyone. Take her hand. You reach out to her, taking her hand. It's warm against the cool night air, and the skin of her knuckles is soft. She finally tears her gaze from the road, her sad eyes meeting yours, but the hint of a smile creeps up the corners of her mouth, her dimples beginning to crease. Her hand shifts, her calloused palm fitting into yours, her grip tightening. It's strong and comforting. You can tell she feels held, and so do you. The two of you stare out at the road. I think the accident is probably why I got into ghost hunting. I think I just wanted to see them again. I wanted to know whether I even could. I never found anything, so I eventually gave up. Then last night happened, and I ran out here to see if maybe it would happen with them too. Even if it meant seeing the crash again, or seeing them all messed up and dead. I just wanted to see them. It's been a whole day. I don't think they're coming. I'll put an arm around her shoulder. You carefully place your other arm around her shoulders and pull her close to you. You feel her chestnut hair against your cheek. She smells a little sweaty and a little sweet, the faded scent of her shampoo mingling with the natural perfume of her skin. It's nice. You take in a deep breath, stroking her arm with your thumb, letting her lean into you. She rests her head against your shoulder, closing her eyes serenely. That hint of a smile spreads into a barely contained grin that finally chases away the worry in her features. We could always wait a little longer. Stella nestles into you, her well-muscled shoulder relaxing against your body. You share each other's warmth as you both stare out at the quiet mountain road. Gretchen pants lazily in Stella's lap. Nothing happens. Nothing continues to happen for a very few long minutes. I think I'm ready to throw in the towel. It's not like I wouldn't want to see them like that anyway. It's not like I would want to see them like that anyway. I guess I came out here hoping I might get a chance to say goodbye or something like that, since I didn't get a chance when they were alive. You could always say goodbye now. Stella sits in silence for a long moment, her breath slow and even. Goodbye. I love you. Don't worry about me. I'm going to be fine. She's silent again, as if waiting for a response, but it never comes. But she smiles, a lively glimmer returning to her sad eyes. That kind of felt better. I don't think I realized how much I kind of trapped myself in my own head. Thank you for breaking me out of it. She straightens up, stretching her neck. Gretchen hops down from her lap, tags jingling in the quiet night air. I know that stretch. That's the time to go home stretch. Thank the Lord I'll be sleeping in my own bed tonight. Thank you, Callisto, for talking sense into this girl. We should probably head back, right? I haven't slept in a day. She doesn't need to know about this tonight. You keep the events that transpired at the clinic to yourself, at least for now. I don't suppose I could ask you to walk me home? I'd love nothing more. You offer her your arm. She smiles, slipping hers into the crook of your elbow. She pulls you closer until the skin of your forearm brushes against her side. It's about time. Let's not waste another second sitting out in the middle. Let's not waste another second sitting out in the middle of nowhere. And this is me. Do you want to come in? Yes, please. Stella ushers you inside, a barely contained grin threatening to split into an excited smile. Let me just take a quick shower. I've been sitting outside for a day. I need some soap. It'll just take a minute. Then we can get cozy. Sure. She hurries off, leaving you and Gretchen in the living room. Finally, I've been reunited with my bed. Gretchen hops onto the massive pillow that serves as her dog bed, curling up and sighing a heavy dog sigh of relief. I can catch up on my beauty sleep. But before she has the chance to fall asleep, a heavy knock startles her and you. Gretchen growls. There's someone at the door. It's that horrible man who smells like rotting meat. Stella! Stella! Stay stock still and pretend you're not there. You say nothing, waiting for the moment to pass. Open the door, please, Callisto. No. All right, playing games, I see. Fine, you can have your fun tonight, but you should consider returning to the estate tomorrow. Tabitha won't be around. Forbidden places won't be forbidden without her around to stop you, and you might be surprised at what you find. Gretchen's growls escalate into barks. Intruder! Monster! Fiend! Oh, Stella, come quickly. There is some disgusting smelling man trying to threaten us. Calm down, Gretchen. Were you just talking to somebody, Callisto? Wayne stopped by to try to spook me. He's still following you? Are you sure we're safe? You don't have to worry about him. I'm not so sure about that. He did just stop by my house at a very late hour while I was preoccupied. It's not super reassuring, but I'm too tired to care too much about it at this point. I just want to collapse in bed with you. You'll keep us safe, right, Gretchen? I'll tear out the throat of anyone who dares break in to hurt my precious Stella. If they bend down to within biting height, that is. But I can always tear at their ankles until they have no choice. Gretchen snarls, yapping fiercely. That's right, Gretchen. You're the most vicious little geriatric pug there is. Now let's go to bed before I pass out. Just give me a second to finish drying off. Stella disappears into her room for a brief moment, and then her door creaks back open. So, are you coming in? Follow her. You walk by Stella and into her bedroom. She gently closes the door behind you. Sorry I didn't clean up beforehand. You can think of it as getting the authentic Stella experience. Yeah, I can see that. She slips past you and lies on the bed, dressed in an oversized t-shirt. You're quick to follow. She's warm and still... what am I wearing, actually? Am I wearing my day clothes? She's warm and still slightly damp from the shower, her skin fresh and flowery. She turns to look at you, smiling, dimples creasing at the edges of her mouth. You could kiss me if you wanted to. Okay, let's kiss her. Let's see what happens. You shift closer to her and close your eyes. The magnetic pull of anticipation rolls down your spine and across your skin, and for a moment that seems to last forever, you take in every detail of the world around you. The forested scent of a eucalyptus shampoo, and beneath it the slightest hint of campfire. The comforting heat of soft but calloused hands against your cheek. The thunder of your heart's beating even ever more quickly in unison. The tension rises and rises, a tone seemingly without peak. And then it breaks and her lips touch yours. You're fresh and minty and soft. They're fresh and minty and soft, cool against yours and guided by the gentleness of someone looking to hold on to the memory of tonight for a long, long time. Okay, and then we lose ourselves in each other. Eventually, the two of you break away and open your eyes, gazing at each other from the opposite ends of the pillow. You drift off together, limbs entwined, exhausted and safe, and comforted. Tomorrow may bring some new horror, or it might not, but whatever happens, you'll face it together. This is the end of... This is the end of episode 4. Follow us on social media to stay up to date on the rest of the Scarlet Hollow's experience. If you'd like to continue with this world state in episode 5, please save your game now. So we will save the game now. And this is us, because at the moment, this is the only, this is the most recent episode that's available. So this is the end, really, for now. But I believe that they are going to produce new stuff soon, and then we will continue with this. So I hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, that was Scarlet Hollow episodes 1 through 4. Bye.